Men in a Truck, 352-289-0666. Visit twomeninatruck.com and get moving.
2 Men in a Truck.
Tick-tock. The days fly by, and we find tax season is upon us once again. Not to worry, though. With a reputable CPA firm on your side, you can rest assured that all of your needs will be handled in a professional and thorough manner. Robson, Scribner, and Stewart is just that firm. They're there for their clients year-round, not just during tax season, to handle your needs and answer any questions you may encounter. At Robson, Scribner, and Stewart, there is no client too small or too large. Their expertise ranges from the single individual to the largest of corporations. Get your return prepared by a professional who will use their years of experience to ensure that your tax return's outcome will leave you in the best possible position. Call them today at 694-4184. Robson, Scribner, and Stewart. They're there for you today. Again, that number is 694-4184. Time is of the essence, so don't delay. 694-4184.
Gene Powell Pasture Mowing. Gene and Debbie thank you for another successful year and to wish you and yours a year ahead full of health, faith, and compassion. In addition to our pasture mowing, we also offer fence line spraying for weed control and rototilling for your winter gardens. We are family owned and operated, licensed and insured, and farm ready. Powell Gene, Gene at yahoo.com. 352-629-2440. Gene Powell Pasture Mowing. 352-629-2440. Gene is a proud United States veteran.
Career Source, Citrus, Levy, Marion brings together business and community partners, economic development leaders, and educational providers to connect employers with qualified, skilled talent and job seekers with employment and career development opportunities. Tune in the first Wednesday of each month at 9:30 to Career Source, Citrus, Levy, Marion, and learn how they can help you.
Now you did it. Are you completely insane? He's back. He, who must not be named. The man, the myth. The only guy in Ocala to eat his own weight in fried pickles. Twice. Now, you asked for it. Sorta. Live and in person. It's Tom Schmitz.
Welcome back to Ocala Talks with Tom Schmitz. Time to go out to the phone lines now and talk with Laura Burns. She is with Career Source, Citrus, Levy, Marion. She usually joins us the first Wednesday of every month, but now, this month, the third Wednesday of every month. But she has a very important expo to tell us about. Laura, good morning to you.
Morning and Happy New Year to you and to the WOCA audience. We're happy to be here on this very bright, a little chilly day, but it's a gorgeous one.
It is a gorgeous day.
And one day, Tom, you and I are going to talk about those fried pickles that you apparently eat and enjoy. But
I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of fried pickles. You get a good fried pickle with the right remoulade sauce. I'm just saying.
Hey, yeah, remoulade sauce. That's New Orleans time. Yeah,
exactly.
Definitely. And I apologize. Normally we are in the studio, but able to be there today, so thank you for letting me call in. I appreciate that. And I do want to talk about our annual Youth Career Expo, but you know the drill. I like to highlight a few other things that we've got going on that your listeners might be interested in. And first up, if that's all right.
Yeah.
When we had to sort of work remotely and then do a sort of a hybrid and all this, that, and other thing, we went to some virtual workshops, and we have a slew of wonderful virtual workshops that are about 20 minutes long each, and you can enjoy and go through them at your own pace. But there's nothing that replaces that one-on-one interaction and having other people in the workshop with you and having the workshop coordinator right there to answer your questions. And in this case, it's Jerry Flanders. So we have started introducing live via Zoom workshops, employability workshops. So they're still remote, but they're live, and you can actually interact with Jerry. We have two of them right now, and we'll be adding more. The first one is the job-specific resume development. and that takes place each Monday from 10 to 11 via Zoom. And on Fridays, we have interview strategies that get you noticed. And that's Fridays from 10 to 11 as well on Zoom. And, just to circle back to the resume, I mean, if I had a dime for every time I heard someone say, I mailed out 100 resumes or 500 resumes and I didn't get, anyone to respond, well, it might be because you're sending out those one-size-fits-all generic resumes. So this workshop is great because participants, you're going to discover how to showcase your unique job-specific skills and qualifications, as well as Jerry's going to help you tap into electronic resources that can really help you land that all-important interview. And that's sort of phase one. Then the interview strategies that get you noticed, well, that workshop will arm job seekers with tips that can help them stand out from the competition and really be remembered. It's going to cover strategies for responding to, and I bet what is the thing that all interviewees kind of dread? What is that open-ended question about, well, tell me about yourself kind of a thing. That followed by, what are your greatest strengths and what do you see as your greatest weakness? And I will say 9 times out of 10 people say, oh, my greatest weakness has got to be that I'm a perfectionist. Okay, well, no. Anyway, so Jerry can really prepare you for behavioral interview questions and also, and this is something that I think people tend to forget, you need to be ready with your own questions at the end of the interview. And I'm not talking about, well, how much are you going to pay me? What are your vacations like? That sort of thing. But intelligent questions that demonstrate to the hiring manager that you understand the job position, that you understand the company, and that you're really a good fit. So anyway, those are 2 live hybrid live by via Zoom workshops, and you can just go to our calendar on our website, careersourceclm.com, and you can find them. And there will be a link, and you do need to register so that you will get the information to tap into Zoom. But you also have all those virtual workshops and Skill Up, the e-learning that we've talked about before. You get all of that information off of that calendar at our website.
Laura, let me ask you this question real quick. Is it the silver lining of these workshops being virtual and these online workshops, is the silver lining of COVID causing all this, that this is where we're going technology-wise, working from home, virtual work and all? So this is another skill that you're actually helping people learn by doing these kind of workshops and everything?
Well, what an excellent question. I think you hit the nail on the head. Honestly, a year ago, when I was getting Zoom meeting interview requests, I'm like, Zoom? What is that? I had no idea. I hadn't heard of it. And I'm like, I don't know. But honestly, yes, there are so many, you're going to do virtual video conferencing interviews. I'll mention when I talk about the Career Expo, how that's going to work. There are certain things that the pandemic and the whole situation working from home has taught us that we may not return to fully everything in person again. There are economies of scale that can be appreciated using video conferencing interviews. And, it did exist prior to COVID, but I don't think at all to this extent. And if folks say, well, I'm not going to do that, and honestly, I know I have family that said, well, I don't Zoom, I won't do that. Well, gosh, how are you meeting with your employees or your boss? What if you do need to have a video interview? So, and those are things that Jerry will cover in his workshops as well. So I'm not going to say that this is completely replacing in person, but it's going to be part of the workplace fabric moving forward for sure. And since you mentioned that, the other thing I was going to talk about before getting into the expo, were some hiring events. Now, we do have 2 hiring events that are in person, socially distanced and masked and everything, that will take place at our Ocala Career Center. And just to remind folks where that's located, it's at 2703 Northeast 14th Street, up right next to AutoZone, if you're wondering. So on the 25th, which is next Monday, HHS Environmental Services, they're looking to hire support staff for Ocala area hospitals, and that will take place from 9 a.m. to noon at our Career Center in Ocala. Then the next day, January 26th, from 10 to noon, also at our Career Center, Errand Ride. They're looking to hire home health aides and CNAs, and that will take place at our Career Center. But TKC Holdings, and they're a leading provider of correctional food services, one of the leading providers in the entire nation. They are holding a hiring event orientation, and it will be virtual. And this is for food service supervisors for both the Marion Correctional and Florida Department of Corrections facilities. So if you are interested in that kind of position, there will be a virtual hiring event. I believe it's via Zoom. And that takes place on January 26th as well. And of course, wouldn't you know it, I didn't jot down the time for that. But you can find all these hiring events on our calendar by going to CareerSource Citrus Levy Marion. And you can click on the filter, the hiring events, or just scroll through the dates, January 25th and 26th, if you are interested in those particular hiring events.
We're speaking, real quick, we're speaking with Laura Burns. She is with CareerSource Citrus Levy Marion. Just to remind people who they're hearing.
Oh, thank you. And please, Tom, just feel free to jump in any time, because when you're calling in and you have things you want to cover, it's kind of like nonstop stream of consciousness.
You're fine. I just wanted people to know who they were listening to. It's very important.
Before I talk about the Youth Career Expo, I did want to remind folks that all of our centers in Ocala, also we have one in Lecanto and one in Chiefland, they're all open for in-person services by appointment, or walk-ins are welcome, and they're open from 9 to 4 for those in-person services. We also, and that's Monday through Friday. We also have staff available for virtual services by phone or live chat, which you can access on our website. And that's from 8 to 5. And the reason that the in-person is from 9 to 4 is that enables our staff to do thorough sanitizing and cleaning of the centers before they open for in-person and at the end of the day as well. So that's why we're going 9 to 4 for those. But like I say, if you want to make an appointment, that's a smart thing to do, because you get a time certain. You don't have to wait around and hope that you can see someone. Of course, we'll have folks there to see you, but also walk-ins are welcome. So don't fear not being able to get in if you just pop by one of our centers. And you can find all the locations on our website, careersourceclm.com. So I just wanted to mention that. We can talk about the jobless numbers, but I thought I'm going to jump into the Career Youth Expo, the Youth Career Expo first, and then if we have time, we can mention the jobless numbers. I'll save it for last, only because we're actually going to get new numbers on Friday.
Yeah, numbers come out Friday.
Right. So the ones that we have that I could talk about would actually be for November, and then the holidays happen. Normally, they would have the employment report released the third Friday of the month, so that would have come out last Friday. But because of, New Year's and all those fun things that we enjoyed, they pushed it back a week. So it won't break our hearts if we don't get to it. So now on to drum roll, please.
The 6th annual Marion County Youth Career Expo. It goes virtual this year, and you're expanding it as well. Tell me about how you're going to go virtual and make it bigger.
Well, okay. So each year for the past several years, we have had it out at Circle Square Ranch, which is great, and it really suits our needs. But because students are selected by their school centers and then get out there via buses and everything, we are limited in terms of the number normally that we can have. So you can't have every single student. That said, we have had 800 or more students over a 2-day period, middle school and high school students that come out, and then they cycle in through 3 different expo halls, and it's great. But obviously, with concerns with COVID and issues with busing and everything, the decision was made to go virtual this year in an abundance of caution, and it's probably a good one. Now, that said, when you're in the virtual world, you don't have issues with transportation. You don't have issues with room capacity. So we don't have to worry about, capping the number of students at a certain number. That said, then, we can open it up not just to public school students, but private and parochial schools and homeschooled students as well. So the more the merrier. There's no reason not to take part in this. And also, parents, if you're interested, you want to see what your students might have for their future, for careers and education and everything right here in Marion County, parents, you're welcome to attend the Expo as well. So that's how it's expanded. We don't have artificial borders, so to speak. That said, every effort has been made to provide as near the same interactive experience as we would have with the in-person. So the 3 essential components that we're having this time, one is going to be a little different. We still have the expo hall, and that's where the students will be able to interact with business representatives. And they'll do this via video conferencing, so you can do it live, one-on-one. You'll see each other if you so desire, or simply direct messaging. And that's a cool feature because as the student moves through the expo hall or the expo itself, and maybe they asked a question that the business wasn't able to provide an answer for at that moment, that business can still communicate with the student, because once that conversation is open, it can follow them throughout the day. So that's really fun and unique. And I believe, when last I counted, we're looking at about 30 different businesses that will be taking part at this moment. There may be more, but everything from Advent Health to Winco Manufacturing and everything in between. There's E1, FedEx, Lockheed, the downtown, the MGM Holiday Inn and Suites, Rainey's, you name it. It's just a gorgeous variety of businesses. Everything from healthcare and IT and hospitality. So I think the participants, the students, are really going to get a great eyeful and get a sense of what's available out there. So that's one.
Sounds like you got logistics, hospitality, manufacturing, healthcare. You run the gamut of everything that you're offering at this expo.
Well, and those are key industries for our community. So, we have a lot of businesses, obviously, and we couldn't possibly cover all of them. But we have to drill down and take a look at, what are the key drivers of our economy in Marion County? And so these are the target industries that really we need to focus on. So that is one component. The second component, and it's sad that we can't do this, but I used to call it speed dating, because that's kind of what it was. The students would go in and they would sit at these big round tables for 10, 12 people, and then industry leaders they were the ones that would rotate from table to table. So you don't have hundreds of students up moving every 5-10 minutes. And anyway, they would have these very candid, wonderful conversations with the industry leaders. Al Jones, who is one of our board members with AutoZone, he is always a great participant. And, they have these lively conversations where they can really be candid and say, what is your favorite part of your job? Why do you get up in the morning and go? Why do you really enjoy it? What kind of skills do I need? What kind of education do I need? How can I really succeed at what I'm doing at your business? Unfortunately, we can't do that this time, but we are putting together a video of industry tours where we're going to highlight each of the target industries, and we have industry leaders from those target industries, and they will answer these questions. They will provide that kind of information. These are the skills candidates need. This is the kind of education that you need to get to succeed at our business. This is what a typical day on the job is like for me, and this is why I love it so much. Here's some advice I would give you as a student, that sort of thing. So I think that's going to be really beneficial. And plus, we'll make available for download industry flyers so that the students can take a look at, this is what I can earn if I have a high school or an AA degree or a BA or BS degree or, that sort of thing. Their career pathways. And then last, but certainly not least, and we've always had, this has just been a fantastic component, was it last year or the year before, Rashad Jones of the Big Lee's barbecue fame that everybody adores. He was one of our inspirational speakers. This year we have three fantastic speakers. Kevin Shealy, who's the president and CEO of the #1 chamber in the USA, the Ocala Marion County Chamber and Economic Partnership. He is going to be there talking about the importance of education and employment. And Kevin Christian, APR, CPRC, who is Director of Public Relations and Multimedia Productions for Marion County Public Schools. He's going to talk about the importance of soft skills in the workplace. And yes, hard skills are important, but communication, interpersonal skills, even a sense of humor, organization, those types of soft skills are critical, and employers need them and expect them. And then Jacob Camp, who's production manager of Winco Manufacturing, he is also going to do a presentation. And Jacob is just so impressive. We had Winco do a video for us for our manufacturing and logistics job fair, and Jacob was our host for that, and he just knocked it out of the park. I was so impressed. So we have three outstanding speakers. So during the course of this expo, which is from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., and of course you don't have to stay there the entire time, you can work through it, there's going to be a lot to see and do and a lot of interaction. So we are just very excited about it. And of course it's free. There's no charge. Registration is very easy. Name and an email, a name and a good email. The email is critical because we need that to be able to communicate with you. If you go to our website, careersourceclm.com, you will trip over yourself finding all the different links and references. So it's at the top of every single page, there's a blue alert bar, and it'll say, register now for the Youth Career Expo. Click here, and it will take you to a page that talks about the expo and has the registration link. It's on our news release page. It's on our calendar on the 28th. Did I fail to say that the expo was? It's January 28th, a week from tomorrow. And it's bit.ly, bit.ly /YCE, Youth Career Expo, 2021. But you will see that link all over the place, or a button that says register here. So if you have any trouble finding it or need more information, I'm going to ask you to call this number, 352-840-5700. extension 2205 or 1-800-434-JOBS, extension 2205. That'll get you the help you need. But yeah, check out our website. There's information all over the place. And
I'm looking at the website now. If you miss these blue bars, you need to go see an optometrist.
Just go to the top of the page. There it is. Yeah. Around, you can't get rid of it. So, so we're super excited about being able to bring this to the community again. And I would be remiss if I didn't say we're super excited to partner once again with such great community collaborators. College of Central Florida, Marion County Public Schools, Public Education Foundation of Marion County, the Ocala Marion County Chamber and Economic Partnership, and the Mid-Florida Regional Manufacturers Association. These guys, they're rock stars, and they help us every single year with this. I can't say enough about these partners. So that's what I know.
Well, thanks, Laura, and I look forward to hearing about the Youth Expo the next time we talk.
Absolutely. You take care. We'll see you next month, hopefully in person.
Thank you.
Bye.
Laura Burns from Career Source. The Youth Expo, January 28th, next Thursday. Sign up for it now. We'll be right back after this timeout.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
USA Radio News with Lance Pride.
For the inauguration ceremonies, approximately 191,500 U.S. flags were placed on the National Mall to represent the Americans who were unable to travel to Washington. At noon, Joe Biden will be sworn in as the 46th President of the United States. President Trump granted clemency to former White House aide Steve Bannon as part of his final day pardons, but did not pardon himself, members of his family, or lawyer Rudy Giuliani. In comparison, Trump has issued roughly 150 pardons. President Obama issued over 1,900 pardons. Officials have suspended a search for a California boy who was swept into the Pacific Ocean on Monday at a beach in San Mateo County, California. 12-year-old Arane Pruthi was at